Hey friends, I'm so excited you decided to join me for another episode of Katherine's Quarters. Welcome. So like I said last week, there'll be some weeks where I do 4 quarters, some weeks where I do 2, some weeks where I just decide to mash it all up together into one. This week, I'm gonna do 2 quarters. We're gonna do a quick recap of week 2 and all of the craziness that happened. So much news, so many good games, so much going on. Gotta cover a lot of stuff. I'm gonna give you guys some big wins, some huge losses, and some things to watch out for. And then I wanna give you guys a quick preview of some key matchups coming up in week 3. So let's get started. Let's start with the big win. I'm giving the big win to the Packers over the Vikings this past Sunday. They beat them 21-16, and it was just nice to see Aaron Rodgers and that offense get rolling. It was nice to see the defense step up and make some plays. Not to say that the Vikings didn't shoot themselves in the foot with, I think it was 100 yards in penalties. Like, come on, these 100-yard games with penalties, you guys, like, you may as well not even come on the field. What are you guys doing? But yeah, I'm definitely going to give it to Aaron Rodgers. He was 22 for 34 on 209 yards and 2 touchdowns. They were just rolling, looking good. And they beat 2 NFC North rivals these past first 2 weeks. And it's just looking good for them. It's just looking good. So next I want to talk about big loss. But it's not only one loss. It's 2 losses to 2 great franchises. Let's start with the New Orleans Saints. They go to play the Rams. And if you watched the NFC Championship last year, or if you haven't been living under a rock for the last 6 months, you have heard about the most egregious call that ever happened in all of NFL sporting history. Anything that has to do with sports, this is the worst call that ever happened if you talk to Saints fans. Well, they go to play the Rams again, and they lose. But they don't only lose the game, they lose their quarterback. Drew Brees going to be out for the next 6 weeks because he has to have thumb surgery. You know who they play in the next 6 weeks? They have the Seahawks coming up. They have the Bears coming up. They have the Cowboys coming up. I hate to say they look good, but the Cowboys look good. And then they have like a Bucs game or something in there too, which is fine. But they don't have an easy road ahead of them. So losing Drew Brees at this time, like these are like the crucial games that come into play. These like mid-season games, not mid-season, but like, you know, we're inching into the season. And these are the games where everybody starts to mold together and everybody's getting souped up and ready for the Super Bowl and hoping that they make it. But like this is an important time. And you mean to tell me you're not gonna have your quarterback? Ooh, it's a stressful one. You know who else is going to lose their quarterback? The Steelers. As if the Steelers don't have enough going on. The Steelers are going to lose Ben Roethlisberger. Not for 6 weeks, not for 8 weeks. They're losing Ben Roethlisberger for the rest of this season. It's not looking too good for the Steelers. It's not looking too good at all. He had some weird elbow injury, and so they're trying to figure. He's gonna have to have surgery, obviously, and they're gonna have to figure something out. I honestly can't even tell you who the Steelers' backup quarterback is. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I hope Mike Tomlin is coming up with a plan. So now I want to talk about what's on my list to keep your eye out for. List to watch. Just, you know, over the coming weeks, some things will blossom. The AFC North as a whole, or a half. Whatever you want to call it, because the Cincinnati Bengals, they're going to be the Cincinnati Bengals, a professional football team. And we just talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They lost Ben Roethlisberger for the whole season. Need I say more? So then we have the Browns, the Cleveland Browns, and we have the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm telling you that is going to be that's going to be exciting to watch these 2 teams develop and build on the momentum that they've gained, because the Browns, they started off terrible week 1, but they came and had a bounce back game against the Jets, but it's a bounce back game because they got it together. Baker did throw an interception, but he also threw a touchdown, so we're giving him a pass. It's fine. And Lamar Jackson continues to wow everybody. It's just going to be fun to watch. And then another little piece of news is that the New York Giants have officially decided to start Daniel Jones as quarterback and sit Eli Manning. Now, why this will be interesting, aside from the fact that we want to see Daniel Jones, the 6th overall pick in the draft, why we want to see him is because we want to see if he was worth that pick. But also, what are we going to do with Eli Manning? Is he going to stay? Are they going to get rid of him? Like, what are they going to do with Eli Manning? Eli Manning is just going to sit on the bench. This is going to be so interesting to watch. So I think it's going to be great to see what the New York Giants end up doing. Because, Lord, everybody's been waiting for this day to see Daniel Jones get the starting job. Power to you, young man. Power to you. Last thing I want to talk about is week 3 matchups. There's 3 games that I'm definitely going to be looking forward to. Like I said in the last segment, Ravens, Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson. Just high-powered offense versus high-powered offense. What's going to be the deciding factor is whose defense is going to step up to the plate first. Now, a lot of people are thinking the Ravens have got what it takes to take down Patrick Mahomes and that killer offense. But it's going to be a matter of whose Sunday it is and whose Sunday it's not, because these 2 teams are liable to put up 40 points on the board every single game, and this is going to be a fun one to watch, guys. Like, if nothing else, it's going to be a fun one to watch. So we're going to see whose mastermind is working on the sidelines on Sunday. It's going to be a great one. The next one I'm going to be looking for is the Broncos-Packers game. Now, I know that sounds kind of crazy. The Broncos really haven't been that great. They also just got Joe Flacco, but the Packers defense has kind of stepped up their game these last 2 weeks, and they've only allowed 19 points. 19 points allowed. Last 2 weeks. Now, Joe Flacco is known to hit or miss. He's a hit or miss quarterback, and he hasn't done a great job in Denver, but we only have a small sample size. So could this be the game where he dismantles their defense? I don't know. Not betting on it, but it should be a good one to watch. And then the last one I'm going to be watching, it's painful for me to say, Eagles-Lions. This has a very special place in my heart, and yes, I'm absolutely going to be watching this game because it is my team, but Eagles-Lions games are always this, like, we think we should win, we being Eagles fans, because I say we when I'm referring to the Eagles. We think we should win these games, and then somehow we mess it up. But also, we should note that Alshon Jeffrey's not going to play. Deshaun Jackson is out for a couple of weeks. So Carson Wentz is going to have to come in and show that he can lead this offense in a way that makes sense. Because last week versus Atlanta, we won't even talk about that. It was just, wasn't happy. But I think that it's going to be a good one. And I think the Eagles are going to pull it out. And that's not my fan bias. That's really me thinking that they're going to pull it out. I mean, Matthew Stafford, Kenny Golladay, and if that's what we're working with. Our secondary is not great, but I think that if we can't cover Kenny Golladay, then we have major, major, major problems that were not exposed last week, which would be hard for me to believe. And I don't want to go to that part of my brain. I don't want to go there. That just doesn't feel like a good place to go. Don't want to do it. But yeah, I think that's gonna be a good one. And it's always just like it's always a fun game to watch. It's always back and forth, and I remember Lions-Eagles games vividly in my brain because I want to hate the Lions because a lot of times we get beat. But it's fine because that's going to be a really good game. There's other games happening around the league, obviously, but I mean, the Patriots going to sweep whoever they play. I don't even really care at this point. I told you, they're going to the Super Bowl. It's fine. And then, of course, the Cowboys are playing the Dolphins. Like, nobody cares about that. I don't care about that. And then there's no other real games that I'm pressed to watch. So there you have it, guys. The 3 games you need to watch. Broncos, Packers, Ravens, Chiefs, Eagles, Lions, and then just lounge for the rest of your Sunday. All right, friends. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video, quick recap, quick preview of what's to come next week. But you should definitely follow me on Twitter so that you can see all of my little play-by-plays and my anecdotes during the games. And I always ask like really fun poll questions and all that type of stuff. So definitely follow me on Twitter so you can get all of that great content. And I hope you guys join me next week for my next vlog episode here on Katherine's Corners. See ya!